So here we are. I think this is actually called the Turls Hill Road. The views over that way earlier were absolutely lovely. You could see parts of Birmingham, the stunning views of all the fields walking down the path. I do believe that this is actually a very old bridleway, and I've heard stories of this actually being haunted. There's so much history over it because it relates to the industrial days where there was an old quarry right away into the woodland, which we'll take a look at later. But you can sort of see it's very muddy over here, but there is a path on the left what we're going to take, and it goes right up to there. So let's go and journey on today and see if we can find any old evidence of an old industrialised past. The Turls Hill and Swanbrook Valley Green Wedge is regarded as one of the last major areas of open space in the built-up part of the Black Country. The Turls Hill Road, which we are standing, was a medieval highway, now a bridleway and a pedestrian route. The area includes sites of local importance for nature conservation and is important as a dark area for bats, forming part of a major bat migration area. It also has a variety of wildlife and listed species of birds and butterflies. Turls Hill and Swanbrook Valley lie within the ancient parish of Sedgley, crossing the boundary between Sedgley and Coseley. They preserve an area of network of small fields that used to characterise the farming area. Wow, the sounds of wildlife over here are really amazing. Can stand here for hours and enjoy every moment of it. You can sort of see the very old bridleway crossing this way, then leading right away to the top. It is very muddy over here, you can sort of see how the path is. Then we've got this stream, what runs all the way to the side of the woodland, going that way. So let's go and journey in and let's go and see what we can see. So here we are, this is the woodland stretching that way, and you can sort of see how steep it really goes. It does remind me a bit of Castle Hill Woods. It's got that vibe to it. I've just noticed bits of stone sticking out the side of there, and also some very old metal. If I go and show you this first, this is really cool. So right, this is actually the first thing what I found, this big piece of metal sticking from the bottom of the soil. I have noticed several bits and pieces. Over to this side, you can sort of see the limestone that's sticking out the sides, if I carefully show you. We can sort of see evidence there of all the older limestone. And not only that, I've just noticed all of these house bricks and several bits and pieces, just all crumbling from the soil, leading that way. And if we carefully look, it looks like tiles maybe. It's got a name on there, Rose M. If you want to identify that and drop it into the comments. Some really cool stuff what you really find in these woodlands. Bits of old tiles sticking out and then several bits and pieces. Like the wren's nest, I found all them old glass bottles just sticking out the soil. You can sort of see it's just all various bits of metals, more tiles, and then bits and pieces. There may have been some very old buildings over here to when they was extracting all the limestone from the further corner. But wow, what a place. You can still hear the sounds of wildlife, it's really beautiful. But let's go and take you on a tour around the woodland and let's go and see what cool features we can see, what might give an even more indication of those industrial days. Wow, I tell you what, you can't beat industrial walks like these where nature is really reclaimed on the landscape. You can sort of see right away in front of me, this is where all the limestone was actually quarried. We've got the very old side walls, but it leads right away in. So if we carefully get all the way down to here, it's very steep, we can go and check out around this corner, then have a look down there. Somewhere around here underground was a tunnel what led to a certain section. I did try and find quite a lot of information about this, but couldn't find too much online. I did see on Facebook somebody posted photos of what the tunnels look like right around the ground. I think it all got filled in like a wren's nest, and there isn't much remaining over here apart from the bits what you can see on the wooded landscape and several bits and pieces. So if we carefully go and check it out. We can sort of see here all the limestone what's fell from the side of the walls. I really love that where you got the trees and the very old side walls. You can sort of see this corner. But the thing what I'm interested in is finding any old fossils over here, like the wren's nest, because you can sort of see the very old rocks. Obviously the limestone, you can probably find all the very old fossils from 428 million years ago. So, not too sure what's going to be on these, whether you will find any fossils here like the wrenner, not too sure. I can't see anything so far. Tell you what though, these industrial walks, wow. I think it's really amazing to see the way it has changed from those industrial days. You can imagine all these trees not being here, all the old sidewalls where they extracted all the limestone. I think there might have been caverns here, I'm not too sure. Like I mentioned, there's definitely some tunnels somewhere in this woodland. Right, it was getting up it, now it's getting down it. It's very slippy because we've had so much rain over the last few days, which was really mad. I've just noticed right away up there some very old fencing securing the sides at the top. Right, if we carefully get down to here, let's go and check out the other side of the woodland. On the very old Ordnance Survey maps, we can just sort of see at the moment how industrialised it was. It does say something about quarries and lime kilns over that way. Right, there's definitely fossils here, coming all the way down that hill. I put my hand on the side of the wall and noticed this big shell sticking out. So you can sort of see evidence on the photo. So it's really cool to know you can still find the geological evidence over here. So it stretches all the way from the wren's nest up to this section. Might come back in the summertime and find more geological evidence. But wow, the views right away in front are really impressive. It's still giving vibes of Castle Hill Woods. It feels like I'm there. And there is a housing estate right away in front of me. I think it leads all the way to Hurst Hill, I believe. Right, what I'm trying to find over here is something that I've seen on Facebook. I've seen this family standing by this big massive wall, and I could see there was a hole leading down. I'm not too sure what it is. I did read in the comments in the old days, I think there were several bits and pieces open over here, and there was tunnels leading right away underneath, like I mentioned earlier. I'm going to have another scour the woodland to see if we can actually find it. If it's not here, I think this woodland definitely extends somewhere over there, I believe. I'm not too sure. But let's keep on going round and let's see if we can find any more evidence of the old industrialised path. There's definitely got to be more, because I'm sure it's definitely not that path. I think it goes this way as well. Fingers crossed we can find it, but if we do, that'd be very cool. Let's go and see where this path goes. Fingers crossed it does lead somewhere. It's actually brought me nowhere. You can sort of see where we were standing earlier, it's brought us right away to the top, so we can't go anymore. There is a footpath leading that way, going over there, so fingers crossed that's the other side of the woodlands. But what a cracking view that is, with the very old tree and also the very old limestone walls sticking right away there. We're really tall up at the moment. What we've got to do is get onto that path where we come from, then walk all the way down. You never know, might spot some other things what we haven't seen. But let's journey on. I'll tell you what a beautiful place, seeing all the different scenery in this woodland, from the old side walls, the flowers, the wildlife, and then several bits and pieces. It's one place in the Black Country what's worth to come if you've never been here before. But as we journey down, we discover more things related to the old industrialised past, so let's go and check it out. I'll tell you what, this is so dangerous. You can sort of see my foot is really slipping. Right, if I'll be very careful, it looks like somebody else has slipped right away to the bottom. I don't like doing things like this, but when you've got no choice, you've definitely got to do it. Because it seemed easy walking up this, but when you come down it, wow. Oh wow, I think everything's getting even worse here. I can't get up this steep hill. Oh, this is very dangerous. You can sort of see what I mean, how slippy it really is. I think this is the Midlands outdoors way of doing things. But we've got to get there, because I'm thinking there's definitely got to be another path leading to the other side of the woodland from that corner. After battling through mud, steep hills, overgrowth and several bits and pieces, we finally make it towards our destination, where there's a little drop going into a little valley where we could probably find more evidence of the old industrialised past here. Wow, after all that overgrowth and several bits and pieces, we've made it. So if we can carefully get to the bottom, oh, wow, we've actually made it. You can sort of see it really goes deeper here. Look at the size of this. And then I've just noticed the very old side walls right away there. I think this is actually where that photograph was taken, so fingers crossed it is. What a cracking view that is. I didn't really expect this. There's a massive drop going right away in the ground. Look at that. You can sort of see, if I carefully zoom in, how deep that path is right away in front, behind where all that land is, what I showed you earlier. This is a really stunning view. Look at that. Right, if we carefully get to the bottom, I want to show you the very old Ordnance Survey maps, so you can sort of see where we're standing now. That's believed where the old quarry was actually situated, where they dug all the old limestone out. By the side of me, you can see all the old limestone walls stretching up. There is something down there that I want to see. I think this definitely could be it. So somebody on Facebook said there's a little hole dropping to the bottom. It might be filled in, but with a bit of luck, might be able to see inside it. But right, we found something really cool. The hole what I was telling you about is actually still here, but it's all been filled in with logs, bricks, and then several bits and pieces. I can sort of feel the air coming right away from the bottom. So there's a possible chance this cavern's here, and you can sort of see what I mean. It just really does drop. I'll tell you what, how amazing is this to see the views, how it goes all round and very steep up. The highest part is right away there. If I carefully show you, is right away to the top of there. From my eyes at the moment, that is really tall up. I'm not too sure what it looks like on the camera. It might be a bit different. And then we can sort of see there, the views going up that way. Wow, a really spectacular place. And then all the rock on the floor, probably another place to find all the fossils. Can't believe there is a hole there with all that air coming up, so there's possibly evidence under the ground of a tunnel actually still being there. But absolutely amazing to see. I would love to see what's inside all these caverns. It really does make you wonder. I've had people comment on my Facebook, they wish they could explore them. I know myself, I would love to do it. It's a shame they filled it all in, but it's all to do with the health and safety. You can imagine they're very dangerous and also unstable. It must have took years to quarry the section here from the top of the land. You can imagine where that part is from the top. That would have been the land many years ago before all this was even quarried. You can see what I mean, how tall up it really is. So some really fantastic evidence of that old past here. Let's take you on a tour around now with some cinematics and go and show you bits and pieces. Then we'll head all the way back to the bridleway and go and show you bits and pieces down there. Stunning place, I've really enjoyed it. It's nice to come to somewhere I've never been in the Black Country, where mining industry was and nature's taken back onto it. So right guys, I've actually found a cavern, but I'm not too sure if you can actually get inside it. Where it is right on top of that bank. Let's get up there and quickly film it to show you. It's absolutely so cool. You can see the old side walls and then various bits and pieces. So right, here we go. We've actually made it right away to the top. So I thought this was just some sort of gap, but when I look down it looks like a cavern leading right away in. But is it though? Let's go to the bottom and let's go and check it out. So I just can't believe that I found this. So I would have gone past this without even looking. So it really does make the video, because this is what I wanted to find, evidence of the old industrialised past here. And this really does give the evidence of it. Looking in, you can sort of see the cave walls. So I can imagine this would have gone right away down. It does go in past this soil, if I carefully show you. Wow, I just love the old walls where the limestone is. But here we go. Wow, this is super muddy down here. It's going to be very, very careful. You can sort of see what I mean, how it goes right away around that corner. I think what they've done, they've backfilled it with all this rubble, dirt, twigs, and then several bits and pieces. I think right away below there it does go in somewhere. Can just sort of see that there is a drop there one more time. If I carefully view, that definitely goes to the bottom. If I go in, let's get onto my knees. You can sort of see it does go to the back. So it's definitely been backfilled, but absolutely pretty cool this is. I can imagine it does go down in a drop, but they filled it all in with this soil, which is a shame. It's nice to see evidence of the old industrialised past here. Wow, absolutely awesome. I'll tell you what though, to see this is absolutely so cool. I mean, standing right away inside a cave at the moment, it's amazing to find these. I mean, there isn't many of these left, like I mentioned. Castle Hill Woods all filled in. The Wren's Nest, there's only one open, I think it's the Cherry Hole. Not too sure to fill that in, but then this one. Absolutely cool. You can imagine in the old days, all the locals coming down to here and playing inside these caves. Can't believe this is on the public footpath, just lying right around the bank. I bet many people don't even know this is even here. You can sort of see what I mean. This is definitely evidence of that old past. I'm not going in there though in case there's a massive hole and I can't make my way out. I love caves and I love several bits and pieces, but let's battle our way down that bank and let's get on the footpath. So here we are, back on the bridleway. I'll tell you what, it's absolutely muddy over here. You can sort of see to the sides, all my trousers are muddy. The back of my jacket, wow, it's really filthy from trying to get up that cave. Hoping people don't notice that on the bus. My bag is really filthy as well. The views on this bridleway overlooking Birmingham are absolutely spectacular. As I get further up towards the entrance, you can sort of see some really cracking views. Let's go and take a look. But it's nice to see all the farmland that I'm stretching by the side of the bridleway, and especially on that side. Oh, we've got a plane as well heading towards Birmingham Airport. Might get a shot of that with my camera while I'm here. So right, that's about it for the video today. I've really enjoyed coming down to here to check out the old industrial woodland and also the very old bridleway. Wow, the weather's really picking up now, it's gone so warm. I'll tell you what I'm going to do now, head all the way home and get a nice ice cream, something different for a change, and then relax. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you soon for more Exploring the Black Country, the Midlands Outdoors out.